Yes, yes, yes. Live back at it again with my guy Mookie Hawkins, man. Hey Mook, we got some things we gotta talk about. We're gonna let some people get in this room tonight.
Oh man,
But
come join the room, please. Please come join the room. If you got something to say tonight, now is the time. All right, now is the time.
I mean, we heard from the two studs, man. We heard from Stephon Diggs, we heard from Trey White. So, like I said, we
Man,
got a lot to cover. You got to ask both of these players questions today. And yeah, man, we got some things to talk about
Trey White,
because
Trey White
I,
shocked the Zoom room today with his comments. Definitely shocked the Bills world with that one. I wasn't
I mean,
expecting that, but
right. I mean, opting in, opting out. You gotta take. You obviously you gotta take your pick, man. I mean, we gonna see what's gonna happen, but it didn't sound too promising for my man Trey.
it didn't sound too promising. There was kind of little reports that was swirling around yesterday that it's going to be like seven big NFL names to opt out. Who's to say Trey White was one of those guys? I mean, but with his comments today, it kind of make you lead to believe that maybe he was one of those guys. I mean, he clearly stated that he's undecided. He came just to see how things are going to just physically see for himself how things would work. Will they work? And I mean, and rightfully so. He has every right to question what's going on because everybody is still uncertain on with this coronavirus thing. So he's being extra cautious. We know playing football is slim to none to having your family around. So family is always first. So you can never be upset or be mad at a guy choosing his family before anything. I mean, you and I both are going to choose our family before anything. So in that same aspect, we would love to have this guy here. We know that he's one of the best players in the NFL. We know how instrumental he is to our franchise. But I mean, if it boils down to him risking his family being sick, it's not worth it. So I do understand it in that regard. Boy, that definitely caught us off guard in that room today. That's for sure.
No, I mean, most definitely. Like I said, it's to me, and I said it earlier. It's just really surprising to have him saying now. I mean, he's in the thick of things already. You're at the facility. You're working out. You didn't travel, but I mean, maybe it's hitting home that if you don't opt out by tomorrow, 4 p.m., man, you stuck here.
Right.
You stuck here. I don't know. I mean, if anybody knows anything about your Davis White, and I said this earlier, he is super close to his family,
Right.
extremely close.
Yeah, that bond. That's just. I mean, that bond. I mean, he's a family guy. Let's just. It is what it is. His value with his family is bar none. So I mean, I understand it. I get it. I mean, do we want to hear that from Trey White? No, we don't. We don't want to hear that from Trey. I mean, but at least he's being honest on how he's really feeling about this because this is a serious pandemic that's going on. So we just can't just say, okay, guys are back and then everything is back to normal. No, it's not. Things aren't back to normal. But I think that the Buffalo Bills have done an outstanding job with how they are handling this pandemic with the testing, being extra cautious on making sure that their players are safe, so they can go home and be able to play with their children. It's just that these false positives. That's where I'm getting at. These false positives. You got Saran Neal test positive, and then 2 days later he's negative. Like what is it? Is it flaws in the system? I mean, that might have to be the next question I'll have to ask. Brandon Bean, or maybe they can get the Dr. Sills or whatever his name is. Maybe they can
Yeah.
get him on a Zoom cast, and we can ask them some questions on what are their preparations to keep these guys safe on a day to day, because that's where it is. It's not just for the rest of the season. It's a day to day thing, So how would they be able to make sure that it's safe and secure? And then as season starts and you get to playing these teams, what are we going to do in reference to the testing before the game? So I know they're going to be testing goofy. I know they're going to be testing goofy. So I mean, I hope that Trey White out there, and I hope we don't see his name pop up before 4 p.m. Man, I'm quite sure if I'm the general manager or coach, I'll probably pull Trey in that room and be like, hey, Trey, hey, now, come on now. We got big things. We got big things happening this year, So I hope, that, the family allows, say, hey, you know what? Go out there and do the things you love and we'll be okay. You know what I mean? It's just like going to boot camp, man. Go boot camp for 6 months or something, and embrace them like that. But, I hope that, he opts in,
No,
We definitely.
I totally agree. And like I said, it really caught me off guard today. Cause like I said, he's in the thick of things. You're there, you're working out, you've been on the videos, been training at, I don't know if they're training at UB or whatever they're training, but you've been going through all these motions. I mean, and now the clock is ticking. We gotta wait till 4 p.m. tomorrow to see what he does. But I really want to get into with considering that the contract situation now, because I think this is going to play a key factor in Tre'Davious White. If he had his money, if Tre'Davious is paid already, I think he'd have been out of there. I'm just being honest. And guys, please put your comments, put your questions in the chat there as the show goes on and we're talking. I'll put up on the screen. Get your name out there too. Everybody want to see what you got to say. So make sure you put your comments on the in the thing, and make sure you share the show. But yeah, so the contract. So let me ask you this question, Moot. And this is something that I've been hung up on because obviously we know they've been going back and forth with the collective bargaining agreement.
Man.
Trey White has 2 years left on his deal, with the 5th year option being coming next year for I think the $13 million for next year. If he opts out of this year, how many years does he come back on his contract with in 2021? 2 remaining or just 1 remaining?
Well, they pushed back the year, so right now this is not his exercise year. This is not that option year, or is it? No. They
picked up his option. Next year was supposed to be his option year.
Next year is his option year. So this year is pretty much the last year of his original rookie contract. So if he were to opt out, then yeah, what happens is the last year of the contract, which was at $4 million or something he was due to make this year, and then next year the exercise option, which would be the 12, both of those get pushed back. Both of those get pushed back.
So he'll be under contract for another 2 years essentially.
Still, like you can't run from it. Your contract is still your contract now. If you opt out, then guess what? Your remaining year in your rookie deal is waiting for you, as well as that 5th year option, which actually would turn into a 6-year option if he opts out this year. But I hope he don't. Hey, shout out, I see my boy Alex in the building. Alex film all the way from Tampa Bay, one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers reporters. He's chimed in. He sent the shout out. You know what I mean? Alex, we got to get you on, man. You know what I mean? You can come in and join in and shoot. You got all that good things going on in Tampa. We can get y'all Shady, and I got Brady and all that good stuff.
Well, we getting Brady too and Grant. They can take that. Please take that problem off our hands. But but no. So obviously, how much of this contractual situation for Trey White is going to weigh into this decision to opt out? Because if he opts out, it's another 2 years you got to wait. There's no 2 years that he has to wait for his money, because one of the things he was really harping on today was that he was financially smart and that he was sound, but he also said that he wanted to make sure that he employed his own people and set up his family. So you're going to delay that whole entire process if you opt out, correct?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he does. I mean, I don't want to say things are like kind of contradiction in what he was saying, but he was just really talking about how he really feel. I mean, he loves the game of football. Let's not get that misconstrued in any shape, form, or fashion. He loves his teammates. He loves being a Buffalo Bill. Okay, but with this situation, is it the risks worth taking for his family longevity? Now, he understands that, okay, he's going to reset the market. No matter what it is, he's going to reset that cornerback market, whether if he opt out this year or he don't. At some point in time, he will be the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. He's going to reset that market. But it's just right now, he's just trying to see, he want to be around to have that generational wealth that he was talking, with his family and stuff like. He has the plan in place, but with this pandemic thing, it kind of alters everything. It really does. So, And with them being off, so to speak, gave him time to really have an extra bond with his family. Like you say, man, he's on a regimen where he takes walks with his kids and things like that, and he kind of got like acclimated into doing that. And so you have all those things in question, not only just him, but from all the other players and their families as well. So I think that you know the way that he was talking, the way he was saying like how these past couple of days in practice, and how he's saying like getting the opportunity to line up in front of a guy like Stephon Diggs is only going to make him better. You know what I
Right.
mean? As a corner, because you're playing one of the best guys in the NFL in your practice every day. So when you read into some things like that, it's like, okay, yeah, he love what's going on. He wants to be here, but he's kind of skeptical of what's transpiring with due to the pandemic. But just to hear him talk football, it don't sound like he's opting out. You know what I mean? But he clearly said out his mouth, he really spoke on how he felt about the situation. And I mean, it is what it is. It's undecided. That's not saying that he's opting out. It's not saying that he's opting in. But the good thing about it is he's here in Buffalo. It's not like he's saying that in Louisiana. You know what I mean? It's not like he's saying that somewhere far away. He's in the building at our disposal right now. So that's the good thing that we do have in our favor. He has his teammates around him that's going through the same thing. So, hopefully by 4 p.m. we don't hear Trey White's name on that list. You know what I mean? And if he's listening, man, hey man, I got an envelope for you. You know what I mean? Just open it whenever you need. Open it whenever you need it, man. We got an envelope for you to stick around, because I really do believe that this year is going to be a real good year, for this team. And, I don't care about all those other guys opting out. It's going to be a million excuses on, oh, if the Bills just rack off and win a championship and win a division, they're going to blame COVID and this player didn't play and this player didn't play. Well, guess what? Y'all think y'all going to win it next year? You're not getting it back. If we run the table right now due to this pandemic or whatever, don't think you're getting it back next year.
It's over.
That's all I'm.
No, I agree. Like I said, I'm saying the same thing. I'm hoping that Trey is not going to opt out tomorrow. I'm hoping he is on this team, and I think he's going to end up realizing that he's going to leave too much money on the table. Or I mean, obviously he's going to get paid no matter what. Let's just make that clear. But you're pushing it back 2 years, and I don't think it's a point to do it. I think he has to suck it up. And like I said, I don't think that it's the long-term health of his family, because his family's not up here in Buffalo. It's the fact of being away from his family. And like I alluded to earlier, he does not spend much time in the city of Buffalo. In off season, he's back down in Louisiana, and he ain't come back up here till it's time for camp. That's just the way it goes with Trey. We'll see what happens. But let's get to a couple questions here. Let's see. Ray Cruz asks, has there been any feedback in regards to the distance watches that the players and staff are wearing?
Well, nope, it hasn't been any feedback with it. But I think, hey, it's just the slight awareness on what's happening. I mean, me and you, Jeremy, we could be talking next year. We 2 feet near each other. You know what I mean? But if we had that band on, and like, hey, okay, it's just the mechanism is just to make awareness on being aware of the pandemic. You know what I mean? If this is what the players ask for, okay, maybe it might be a little annoying that thing gonna keep going off every time, but guess what? It's on you to react and respond to it. If me and you talk, Jeremy, and that thing going on, like, okay, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm 6 feet away from Jeremy, but it's just to keep these guys safe. Whatever precautions that the Buffalo Bills have to do to assure the players and faculty and staff to keep them safe, then I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I don't even know if every NFL team has adapted to what the Bills are doing, but I like what the Bills are doing. They are making sure that these guys, first and foremost, safety is the first thing that's going on, and they're making the greatest steps on making sure everybody in that facility is safe. So if we need that band, to make awareness of, hey man, we got to keep our distance in certain spots and certain places, then it hasn't been any negative feedback. In my eyes, I haven't been no negative feedback to that. But the social distance washes, I think that it works. We might have to wear one when we have to go into a practice. I'm quite sure, because we're going to have to be 6 feet away from the next reporter when we're watching practice, we get a chance to come in to watch practice, but it will be outdoors. We won't have access to go inside. So whenever practice is going on outside, we'll be able to appear, but we're going to have to go into the same protocols and testing as everyone else. And hopefully we can report some good stuff for you guys. But yeah, I'm quite sure if I walk in the building, I'm going to take a picture of my band. So we can see how it really actually goes on inside of One Bills Drive.
Right. Silos Pineda, and thank you for that question, Ray Cruz. Thank you for tuning in. Silos Pineda says, "Hope Trey plays, but I understand and respect the other way." Hey, you can't do anything but respect it. Like I said, I personally think he's going to end up opting in and continue to play. I think if Sam's going to urge it, like I said, I don't think they're going to delay that $20 million per year because that's exactly what it's going to be, no less than that contract coming. The team's family going to tell him like, "Hey man, suck it up, just suck it up for 5 months. Go out there, do what you got to do. It's your job. Go play." I mean, who even knows if the season even going to finish, to be honest with you. So it may not even be 4 to 5 months. It may be 4 to 5 games, and this is deaded. But thank you for the question, CeeLo. Thank you for tuning in. All right, my man Gary. Gary asked, if Trey does opt out, who would you like the Bills to get? So is there a name out there on the market the Bills could get to replace Trey White? Or is there all the names on his roster? Because we do know EJ Gaines also opted out a couple of days ago.
Gary Ruber. How you doing, Gary? If Trey opts out, then you would probably have to look at. I mean, we got Josh Norman. He knows the system, and then you got Levi Wallace, EJ Gaines. He opted out. We do have Cam Lewis that's still in the sauce. We have some undrafted free agents, but I think if Trey opts out, then you probably have to go after a guy like Logan Ryan. That's still available out there. Am I saying it? Is it Logan Ryan?
You got Logan Ryan's right. Yeah.
You have to go after the best available guy that's out there on the market. So I would probably look there because we have what we have inside the building, but you're gonna have to. That's some big shoes to try to replace. We're talking one of the top corners in the league right here, so he can never be replaced. But you definitely got to get a younger, savvy guy to come on in and probably shoulder that load a little bit.
No, definitely. And then we'll take one more question, and then we'll get to our Stefon Diggs part, and then we'll ask some questions about Stefon Diggs and other things. Well, we get one more question here. It's our man Alex Fleming, and he says, "Why are people still thinking the Pats are still competitive?"
Because I'll let you take that one, Jeremy.
I don't know. I don't know why people are still thinking. Listen, I've been saying this forever, and I'm gonna continue to say it. Stop having so much damn faith in Bill Belichick. He's not that coach you think he is, man. He's not a genius. He's had the same quarterback for 20 years. And and I ask another question to people: if you think that all these Pats would have opted out if Tom Brady was still the quarterback, you're crazy. No one was opted out without Tom Brady at quarterback, man.
Nobody.
They're not competitive, and Cam Newton ain't that dude. But we'll show them twice this year better than we can tell them. That's all I'm gonna put it that way.
You're right about that, man. You're right about that. I think people just saying it because it's the name now. The name just really carries the weight now. Patriots is not going to be that good this year. I mean, when they got Cam, everybody was like, "Oh, now the Bills can lose a game to the Patriots because Cam here." Ooh. Well, what he's going to do with none of the defense being around? What he's going to do when one of his top offensive tackles is not playing? All right, so, I don't know why, Alex, that they still think that the Pats, maybe they still think that Brady and Gronk and all those guys are still in New England, but, they flew down south. Them birds done flew down south, man.
Yeah. It's a little juicy rumor, too, that those names by tomorrow, the twin McCourty twins, may be two of those names opted out tomorrow. Just saying, stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned with that. Yeah, stay tuned with that. Let's just opt no more Bills. No more Bills opt out. All the Patriots, y'all got opt out. If y'all want to give us this championship because of COVID and all that, and that's the excuse y'all gonna run with to give it to us, okay, we'll take it. But don't think you're gonna get it back next year. All right. Please don't believe that. Please believe that. All right. Don't think that y'all gonna get it back next year when we run the table this year.
Right. So
yeah, Bill, that was a good point, Gary. That's a good point, Gary.
Yeah, very good point. Our man, Stefon Diggs, We finally heard from him, man. We've been waiting here from Stefan for months, you know. This COVID season messed us up with our Stefan time delayed it. But we got him today. And he came in and he was everything I expected to be in his presser. He was real. He kept it 100, as they call it, and he ain't holding back. Vic Carucci was the Vic Carucci. Yeah. I love Vic, man. I love Vic, but Vic, why you do that, Vic? Man, crucified you damn near on live on there. Why you do that, Vic?
Now Vic is OG, triple OG. He pretty much can do what he want. But yeah, he kind of jumped out the tree a little bit right then and there, trying to, get the little thing started. I mean, we haven't seen or heard from the guy. This guy was like a spook story. He was like the Loch Ness monster and Kaiser Soze all in the same token in the past 3 months. Is this guy really real? For him to actually just appear in the Bills, locker room was like, okay, we can breathe now. The guy is finally in the building. He's here, and bam, here we go with Minnesota questions. Somebody's going to ask that. And hey, if it got to come from the OG, triple OG, Vic Carucci, hey, that's Vic Carucci. But Stefon Diggs was with all that, wanted all the smoke with it. And, he really wanted to hear what Vic had to say about it because, hey, he didn't say those things. He only Twittered some subliminal things. It wasn't what he said. We can't put words in the man's mouth.
No, we know what he did.
We know what he did, but he didn't say anything about it. He just said, hey, a new beginning. That's all he said. And, whatever transpired from that, Take it and run with it if you will. You know what I mean? But I wasn't going to ask him that. I might catch him and ask him off the record. You know what I mean? But I wasn't gonna waste my time with that one. Not today. It was just so happy to see the guy finally, with some Bills logos, and it was just really a good sight just to see him repping Buffalo. You know what I mean, for the first time. So I really embraced that and had a good time on interviewing him today.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I thought he was Stefan 100%, and this is the Stefan I wanted to see. This is the Stefan I think that we needed in this locker room. Like we need that. I've been saying for the last 2 years, this is a good core team. It's a good solid team, but we need a little bit of nastiness on the defensive side of the ball, and we need a little bit of swag on the offensive side of the ball. And I think we did. I think we nailed both of those this offseason. And I think Stefan, he's gonna add that swag to that offense. Like don't get me wrong, Cole Beasley and John Brown, they come out, they professional, they come do their job, they do what they got to do. They quiet about it. Stefan gonna do it, and he gonna let you know about it. He gonna show you. He gonna tell you better than he can show you. Simple as that. That's what we gonna call him, Stefan. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you, but I can tell you Diggs this season.
Oh, absolutely. When they asked him was he locked in, because it was somebody put a bad rumor up yesterday that Steph Diggs opted out, and I was like, yo, that doesn't even sound right. Why would a guy be training his rear end off every day somewhere at some location? This guy, no matter where he is, he's working out.
Yeah.
So, that's letting me know that this guy is really locked in. And that's what led me to ask the question. I'm like, yo, you was working your ass off right now. Like, is you working because you feel that you got a chip on your shoulder, or this is something that you do on a regular? Like, and if this is something you doing on a regular, like, what's your mindset in the off season that you is just going that hard? You going super hard, in the off season. I love it. I really love it. And he, it's just a grind. It's just his approach on, how he addresses the game, coming in, being a 5th round pick. A lot of teams pass it up on him, including the Bills. So, he still has that chip on his shoulder coming in the game. But it's not how you started, it's how you finish. He understands that. And, he has a new beginning in Buffalo. What happened in Minnesota is going to stay in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, I'm quite sure he don't like that, but, we love it right now. We love that.
All puns intended with it like that.
We love that. We need to change it to we love that. You know what I mean? Need that. And, hey, we know that we're going to have him available this year. He's not going to opt out. He's locked in. You know what I mean? So it's good to know that, one of our main weapons on the offense that we desperately need offensively will be here for the season. So I'm really ecstatic about that, and he is too.
And it was funny as he actually got a little bit of a pay bump yesterday and today. You know what I mean? He got
He got a little bump up.
Got a little bit of a pay bump. And it's funny because in the conference, I forgot who asked. I think it may have been John Scott that asked him about his contract situation. And that's something when he got traded here to Buffalo, I kind of questioned too. I'm like, man, his highest year is like 3 years down the line, like 14.5 mil, when your top number one receivers, bona fide number one receivers, is getting at least 20 million per season, at least for the first year of the deal, even if it declines after that. So I thought that at some point he's going to need a raise. That deal's outdated. And sure enough, today with that Star Latulippe opt-out money, because that's what Star gave us. Star gave us a little bit of payback. You know what I mean? With that Star Latulippe money, they bumped him up a little bit today, right after the conference. So
yeah, just go ahead and they just here you go, Steph. You know what I mean? Just for coming. You know what I mean? Let's just bump you up. Let's take that 11. Let's take that 11 million, man. Let's make it 14 and a half this year for you, man. Thanks for coming, man. You go ahead and it's some nice gas money you can drive around in the city this year with. All right.
Yeah.
So right now he's getting paid as he's one of the top receivers in the league right now, 14 and some change. So that answered the question. Vic was all over the place with it. Vic was jumping right into the contract. He was jumping into the Minnesota stuff. Man, Vic wanted all the smoke today. He definitely got it, though. He got it. Bro.
Yeah, Stephon ain't gonna back down, man. Stephon ain't backing down from nothing and nobody. Yeah,
if you back down. That's one thing. If y'all haven't noticed that about him, he's not gonna back down. He's with all the media questions. Because he really put it on the gate. Like, hey, what did you say again? Let's backtrack to what did you say? He wanted that. He wanted that. So, he had to make Vic recant some things as well. And to have a guy like Vic Carucci recant some things, man, hey, that speaks volumes. Because Vic is one of the best reporters around here, man. That's triple OG right there. So, and for him to catch Vic out there like that, it is what it is in the media world. You can never be too careful. And hey, I learned something today by that happening. You know what I mean? Being the rookie in the room, I learned from that. So hey, once again, it was just great to have Stefon Diggs in the building, man. So that's gonna get questioned. This is not the first time he's gonna get asked a Minnesota question, but he let it be known right then and there. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Absolutely, Matt. Good move. It was a great move. Go ahead and just get that out of the way, because everybody and their mama is talking about it like he was going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? I don't get that. Like, soon we bring him in, everybody talk about, whoa, honor your contract. His contract is what it is. So why we want to talk about more money? Let's not be Antonio Brownish to the situation. Oh, new team, I want to be the high. No, see, that's a diva. All right, and that separates things that Brandon Beane was talking about. I don't think he's a diva. He's more of a dog. And for Brandon Beane to be talking dog talk, Brandon Beane know about dog talk.
Brandon Beane, he obviously knows something, man. Josh Norman, Brandon Beane was in that Panther organization when Josh Norman and the Panthers walked on that New York Giant field with baseball bat. So Brandon Beane knows something about going to get people and hit the hitmen. All right.
That's why they call him the burglar, baby. He been stealing ever since he came to Buffalo. Yeah. And we stole Brian Winters.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, if you guys saw yesterday, we put up the video of Brian Winters, and shout out to Clayton Garrett for finding that too. Pulling 3-4 F3, F1, F250, whatever you want to call it, pickup trucks, man. Brian Winters let me ask you this question, Mook. I mean, while we here, Brian Winters, and we released Spencer Long, so that saved about $2.5 million, somewhere maybe a little under $2.5 million we saved to the cap. Brian Winters, he started day one. Because
absolutely. He started right now. Right now. Soon as he clear COVID testing, started right now.
So what does that mean for Cody Ford?
Cody Ford stays at right tackle, and he'll be swinging it with Ty. He'll be swinging it with Ty, and everything is pretty much going to be the same. I mean, if Cody Ford have a sophomore slump, guess what? We have Ty Nsekhe there. That's going to shoulder the load, and we won't miss a beat, with him being out there. So it's all about depth. The game is won up front. Let's not get this thing twisted on all the window dressing and all these skill position guys that we have, these great weapons that we have now. But the game is always won up front. always one up front. That O line and that D line. So those guys know the importance of that. They knew how important it was to Josh Allen's development getting in that offensive line. Why you think they changed that whole offensive line last year is totally different from the year before, Josh rookie year. Totally different from that. So, with another year, and we have depth at every position from center to guard to tackle. We have necessary depth of guys who can play multiple positions. You bring in Darrell Williams, he can play guard, he can play tackle. You bring in Evan Boehm, he can play guard, he can play center. All right. So we are pretty much locked and loaded at depth on our offensive line, probably better than anybody in the league right now. And when you look at the flip side or the defensive side, we are loaded depth-wise. We're not missing Styler Tulele. You know what I mean? We're not going to miss a beat with him being gone.
In my opinion, you know how I feel about Star. We weren't going to miss him whether he was there or not. I'm not a Styler Tulele guy. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Hey, I was on my man. I was on Styler Toilet Paper. I was on him. But he started playing, and you got to give it up. The same way, I'm a football coach. So if I'm going to break you down, it's my job to build you back up too when you do some good stuff. So he was balling, coming into, the second half of the season. We give him that. We want to see more. We need you with the money that we're giving you. We need to see that all season long. We don't need to see it half the year. So, we was glad that, he was able to do what he did, enable us to give Stephon Diggs a raise and give guys like Harrison Phillips a true shot. And, we still got Vernon Butler, so we don't miss a beat there. And we still got Quentin Jefferson, who can, play anywhere on the defensive line. And, we still got Vincent Taylor. So I think we're solid on both sides of the ball when it comes to playing up front.
Right. And we actually got and this is going to lead me to my next point. We actually got a couple of good comments from Heather Town. And she says that she believes it was a wise move to restructure the contract now. Definitely got to keep your man happy. Hey, you know what? The thing is, Doug Whaley did the same thing with LaShawn McCoy. Let's not forget. It was little rumblings about his contract. So, I'm going to give you $40 million. Just come on and be happy.
Come on, man, get on that plane for this man right now. Come on, sign this contract. Yeah. We got $40 million, $8 million a year. Come on, Shady.
But then Heather Town also says next season is going to be a mess with the lower cap. And that leads me into my next question and actually watching the moves that Brandon Beane are making. Personally, I think Star Lotulelei has played his last game in the Bills uniform. I think this year they're going to see they don't need him. They're going to cut that money off the books next year, especially if they cap drop. So let's keep in mind that the cap is only going to drop if the season is finished.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And the Bills are slated right. They were slated to have, I believe, $15 million going into next season if the cap had dropped down to $175 million. Mm-hmm. But I believe now with the opt-out of Star Lotulelei, and I believe this money's going to roll over.
Yeah, it's going to roll over.
So far they've saved 8 with Star Lotulelei. They've also saved who else opted out here? EJ Gaines, that wasn't much, about $1 million, but they've saved about $12 million with the release of Spencer Long and the opt out of Gaines and Star Lotulelei to actually roll over. So when it's all said and done, after the extension of Trey White and the signing of Brian Winters, which those details have yet to be released, but when they are, I believe the Bills going to end up rolling over something like $8-9 million. So now you're going to bump them up to $21-22 million next year, which is not bad cap space for a winning team. Next question is, how do you see this cap space shaking out for Buffalo now?
Well, before I think the Winters deal, the Bills were at $27 million. I think
about $27 million, and then
$27 million. Let's just say, he was scheduled to make $8 million this year with the Jets,
something like that. So he had to at least half of that.
Yeah, Bills probably threw 4 or 5 at him. To come here real quick. So, okay, that takes the Bills down to, let's say, 23, 22.
But that's before the Spencer Long cut, though.
Yeah, so then the Spencer Long cut.
Add 2.5 back.
We added 2.5 back. So let's say we take 22. Let's take the lowest we can go with 22 and throw Spencer Long's contract back. So that gives you close to 24, 25 million of bills. And that's good to roll over with. Or, hey, if you feel that Trent Murphy ain't holding the deal, we can free up another $8 million, and we can throw some money at your boy Jadeveon Clowney. Let's go ahead and do that. But I doubt it. But It's just a thought, man. You never know. I tell you, Brandon Bean
Never know.
is not afraid. And one thing I can say about being the burglar that is true, he is going to look at every possible way to make this team a championship contending team. All right. He's going to look at every possible situation on making this team the best in the NFL. And my hats off go to Brandon being the burglar on man, owning up to his word on making us one of the best around. Because just look in a quick 3 years, everything that's surrounding the Bills now. Just the hoopla, the mystique. You got players wanting to come to Buffalo. You couldn't pay anybody to come to Buffalo to play. You know what I mean?
Unless
Antonio Brown, ever since the little Antonio
right.
Brown incident, and Bean was ticked off about that. And he stood up for Buffalo, about that. That kind of pissed him off. It really did
It
piss
did.
him
It did. It did piss him off. He said it.
He said it. It pissed him off because, hey, we're trying to make this team one of the best. And for Antonio Brown to come in here and to shun us like the way he did, like we was just some, I'm not going to go there. They're trash. I'm not going to go there. Antonio Brown listening to Jalen Ramsey. Oh, they're trash. I'm going to go there. And, that was that old mystique. And that pissed Brandon Bean off. But I bet Antonio Brown wish he was a part of this team right now. Because just look at the route that we're going. We're getting all the hoopla. Everybody loves us. We're picked favorites to win the East, if not a Super Bowl, this year. So Brandon Bean, Sean McDermott, keep doing what you're doing. We got to extend those guys too as well.
It's coming. I don't think they worried about it, man. They know they're gonna get their change.
They're gonna get that change. But I really do believe though that somewhere in line we're gonna have 3 guys getting over $100 million. That's Tremaine Edmonds,
Yep.
Tre'Davious White, Josh Allen.
Right.
So, we're going to have Tre'Davious White going to be the first Bill to have over $100,000 contract, $100 million. Excuse me.
Right.
He's going to reset the market.
And with you saying that, please make sure that you guys are subscribing to the Cold Front Report podcast. We got all different Cold Front Report podcasts going to be on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Apple, whatever podcast. And you got Mookie's actually on an episode of You Have Not Caught It. If you have not caught it and you have not liked the page, the Bills Yak podcast, myself and James Mallory. Shame on you. Mookie was a guest this past week, and we broke down the offensive line. We broke down the Matt Milano may be out of here just because of all these contracts that we're talking about. So I definitely want to go check that out. That'll be uploaded in the morning. So go check for that on Spotify at Cold Front Report. Just look us up. You'll find us. But yeah, man. Y'all guys
been that was the Cold Front question of the day, right? Is who gets signed first, Dion Dawkins or or
a lot of people
said
Milano. A lot of people said Milano, and it shocked me because Milano's the flashy guy. It's the splash player. It's the splash signing. I get it. That's the one you seen get interceptions, getting fumble recoveries. But a left tackle and a solid left tackle always get signed before a linebacker. And if you're not doing that, you end up getting stuck with people like my man. I don't want to hear you talk about him, but man like Jordan Mills. You want somebody like Jordan Mills playing here? Be careful what you ask for.
We were just being so super cheap right there. Super duper cheap. Like I almost pulled all my dreads out when they brought him back. Like, okay, they let him test the market. And bring him back and he still start. Like, how we're gonna get better that way? Like, you'll get better that way. And that's why you've seen that drastic change. If Josh is gonna be our quarterback of the future, you gotta protect him up front. And the first thing you do by protecting him is making sure you give him that security blanket, which is in Dion Dawkins. You gotta sign the left tackle. And first and foremost, you gotta sign your left tackle.
And let's also not underestimate the point that he is a team leader.
Right.
He's a leader. I'm not saying Milano's not a leader.
He's the ambassador. Right? He's like the Bills' big brother. Like if there's a problem or any type of situation, best believe Dion Dawkins is going to address it and he's going to fix that situation. He's going to come to the rescue as a big brother should and make things right. You know what I mean? So you gotta bring him back. And you look at guys like Dion Dawkins and Tre'Davious White. These are their first 2 draft picks of that regime. So what does it look like for them not re-signing those guys. They're going to re-sign those guys. It's just that they're careful with the money due to this new rollover system and how the salary cap is going to fluctuate due to COVID. So guys got paydays coming up, and they got to make sure the money is available for those three Pacific guys. Matt Milano, I think, great player. He has a knack for the football, but at the end of the days, he don't really tackle well. You know what I mean? He don't.
I believe on the pod you called him an ankle biter.
Yeah, ankle bite. He do be doing some ankle biting. If y'all know what ankle biting is, it's just what it is. You know, what I mean, you going that low where you trying to bite the ankles instead of
right.
wrapping up, you're ripping and grabbing cloth and driving with your legs, getting that head across. You know what I mean? Driving with those legs, grabbing cloth and taking that guy down. Right. All right.
No, a great question by Pete Hockey there. And Pete, please, we're gonna post that pod probably in the morning. So click on that and listen to that. We break down everything of why we don't think, and I think we all agree, me, myself, Mookie, myself, and James Mallory agreed that Milano will probably be the odd man out. Not saying that they can't resign him back for a certain amount of money, but we broke it down in every facet you could. And that actually brings up another comment from our guy Ray Cruz here. Now, this was James' idea on Milano. Great way to set up Milano for potential trade to get assets returned. I believe James was all over that one.
Mm-hmm. So he was all over that one.
So when that pod comes out tomorrow, make sure you please go check it out. Go subscribe and show support. Maybe I'll do a giveaway to get some subscribers to it. But hey, we covered a lot today, Mook. We covered a lot. We
covered a lot. We definitely covered a lot. And I was like, Christmas, in the morning, to wake up and see we're gonna make sure we have all our presents underneath the tree come 4 o'clock. We need to have all our weapons, so we definitely I mean, I don't know who's gonna be in the Zoom room tomorrow. They always hit us up like around 11 o'clock. Josh Norman got to be next because we haven't got the opportunity to sit down and talk with him. So maybe Josh Norman and who else would probably be next? Maybe Micah Hyde or somebody be next, or it got to be on our offensive side. So maybe Motor Singletary. I'm thinking it's gonna be Josh Norman for sure tomorrow because we haven't spoke with him yet, and we got the opportunity to speak with Diggs. So maybe Josh Norman will be one tomorrow, and probably Motor Singletary because we definitely need to hear from the running backs now. We done heard from receivers, we done heard from quarterbacks. We got to hear from Motor. You know what I mean? So we, hopefully, maybe those will be the 2 guys in the Zoom room tomorrow, and we'll have more content to roll with, especially with that 4 o'clock deadline, man. So it's gonna be real. I don't know if I'm asleep tonight. I don't know if I'm asleep tonight, but hey, I do like this new this new podcast right here. I'm really feeling this.
It's something different. I try to stick with the times. A little bit. A little less work. Try to get the engagement from the people. Try to keep the people involved.
Right. Right. We definitely got to do that. Make sure y'all keep it locked. The Cold Front, man. Make sure y'all tune into that Yaks podcast. It's crazy. My man Clayton, my man Fred, and my guy Brandon. That new addition you got, Brandon. Y'all keep doing your thing out there in the Cold Front because we definitely do have a real cold front this year. That cold front gonna be cold. It's gonna be nice and cold, just ice cold. You can't break it.
Tina Marie cold. Tina Marie cold.
You was cold as ice.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, it was impromptu. We didn't even announce it, but you guys, that's like Bill's Mafia. You're always ready. You're ready to go at all times. We ready to go at all times. We're ready to get this
game,
season
Coach.
kicked
Put
off.
me in the game. Put me in the game.
Yeah, we're gonna do this some more. We're gonna do this some more. We're gonna stay active, man. We're gonna stay active no matter what. And definitely shout out to got a little breakdown of Quentin Jefferson dropping tomorrow for my man Leroy the Mud Dog Windsor. My guy there. So yeah, we got a lot of things going here at Cold Front. Mookie got a lot of things going on at Wolfo 1080. A lot of things coming out of there too. So make sure that we stay tuned.
What's your take? Let me get you just one last question before we chime out.
What you got?
Your whole what is your evaluation on all of this in reference to what's going on with this opting out? Do you think there's going to be a surprise bill that may opt out?
I've been saying all along, man. I'm not trust. I think Micah Hyde has been on my list for opting out because he mentioned a couple months back about his new boy, and I know how close Micah Hyde is with his wife. Like I said, I've met Micah Hyde. I've met his wife. I met them last year at the softball game, and this is his first child. So I could definitely see Micah opting out as a surprise. So if I had to take a pick, that would be my surprise opt out. Would be Micah, and we have not heard. Right. We have not heard from Micah at all.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. Like, he was the first one to say something, and Diggs kind of piggybacked rode off of that. But he was the first Bill to.
He was the first to speak up on that.
Right, to speak up on that. And that's when, the NFL came up with those changes. So was that to his liking, or is he still feeling skeptical how Trey White was, just to see how things transpiring, how they're going to have games with, practicing 6 feet and all the things that they're saying. So, I mean, we're talking about Trey White opting out or saying that he's undecided, but who else on the team feels the same way that Trey White does? So, yeah, I mean, Micah Hyde is definitely the one that comes to mind when you say that. And, he is, the leader of the team. A lot of people don't know that, but he is the leader when it comes to that defense. So, a lot of guys are probably there because he's there. You never know, with these alliances and teammates. But the feel is, for the most part, that these guys are all locked in. I'm quite sure they had these questions when they were working out in Virginia and they was working out in Miami. How they feel about those.
Micah wasn't there.
Micah wasn't there.
Right. Either one.
Micah wasn't there or Trey wasn't there. You know what I mean? So
I'm keeping my eye. I'm keeping my eye on Micah. I've been saying it since the get-go. If it was one Bill I'd pick, it would be Micah. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: if Micah does opt out, it'll hurt. Now, Micah and Trey opt out, it'll hurt real bad. But if Micah opt out, I'm not worried because you're gonna slide Jordan Poyer into that free safety role, and I still got dibs on my man Saran Neal having a breakout year if he plays more.
Oh yeah, Saran Neal is just a dog, just waiting to happen. Yeah. Last year, he played all over the place. He played nickel, he played safety, he played outside. So he's privy like a Swiss Army knife to plug and play anywhere as needed. But you just don't get that veteran savviness out of a Micah Hyde, which you would assume.
But if it's only Micah, you got Jordan, you got Norman, you got Trey, you got Poyer. He'll be all right. The kid be all right. You know what I mean? He'll get it. But, hey. That's our time, man. We gotta get up out of here. I mean, we're gonna do this more. Maybe we'll try to make this a Wednesday thing, or so maybe keeping it real Wednesdays, or we are 716 Wednesdays, or something. They got Taco Tuesdays and stuff. Maybe Mookie and JT Wednesday, something like that. But we're it's good.
Wild Out Wednesday.
Wild Out Wednesday, yeah. Well, Wild Out ain't show no more. We probably trademark that now.
Trademark, wilding in.
But hey. Mook, thanks for joining me tonight, man. I'll see you after the Zoom calls tomorrow. Like I said, I'm off tomorrow again, so we're gonna talk about it. Anybody in the Northeast that got hit with these storms, please be safe. And there was a lot of people up this area and on this coast that's without power. And please just stay safe with you and your family. Stay safe for COVID, and keep tuning in, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it.
That's right. Bill's World.
Catch you later.